Hello, 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 hello. Hello, are we live? We are live. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's do this. Let's have some fun tonight. We are having a blast. Let me get this all prepped, ready to go. All right. So, what's up with the chat today? What's up with the community? I see that Jeff is on. Thank you for joining us today. If this is your first time joining us, welcome to the stream. Welcome. Have a blast. Let's enjoy each other's time and get going with everything on the air. So let's see what we got going on here. I'm running 4 computers, and hopefully this will make things easier, what we're going to be discussing today. Jeff says he is first, but of course I've got to turn that off, because that's Jeff's comment that he is first. Yes, you are, Jeff. Thank you for joining us today. You are correct. You are first. So, first off, let me just say thank you for everybody joining us today. My name is John McLaughlin. I am the founder and CEO, I guess you'd say, of JAmemories. This is Tech Talk with John McLaughlin, and we are having a blast. One thing that you need to remember about Tech Talk is the fact that we are talking about all things technology, and it's one of those shows that just gets me going. I love talking about technology. I love talking about all things exciting, and all things that revolve around technology. Today we're going to continue talking about the Elgato Stream Deck. We're going to talk about what I use it for, and I did do a lot of research this past weekend in the fact that since last week's show, I looked up other ways of using the Elgato Stream Deck, and I was actually quite pleased with what I found, because the Elgato Stream Deck can be used in so many different ways. So, as I mentioned last week, the Elgato Stream Deck can be used in 2 different modes. You can use it with the built-in Stream Deck, Elgato Stream Deck software, which it's a little touch and go. And I'm going to be running 3 computers today, so I'm going to be moving the mic around. Hopefully I won't bump it too hard. I've got it on a swivel, so hopefully it won't bump too much, and we can show you a couple things. I'll show you both the companion models, and I'll show you the Elgato Stream Deck models of software. Now, one thing to keep in mind, let me show you first the companion layout, because it goes without saying that that's how I'm running it. So one thing to keep in mind is this right here on the side is the I'm trying to get the camera's not focusing very well. Anyway, I'm running the camera on my phone, so anyway, hopefully that won't be bothering too much. But yeah, so Okay. All right. So you're looking at right now the companion layout. We've got several different instances, and we talked about connections and instances. Last week, we've got the Atems. We've got two different Atems. We've got the Atem Pro, Mini Pro, right here. And then we've also got the Blackmagic ISO. You want to make sure you label your connections differently. First off, you can't, under label, you can't have the same name for everything. Because the software will need to distinguish between between the software. Hold on, let me show you what I'm running over here. It's gonna go black here. There's my Stream Decks, and and I got wires everywhere. I got two of them connected, and you can see both of them. And they're both talking to what you're seeing right here. So let me see if I can. This is not wanting to do it right. Hold on, let me go back to this camera. This is not working right. Anyway, as I'm getting my cameras set, I had my cameras working, and then all of a sudden it's just not working right. So let me move it over here, see if I can get it to lock in. Anyway, life as an engineer. You know what? Let me just do this. Overlays. Apparently I have that set wrong. Anyway, alright, let me take that. Yeah, it's okay. Let me bump it up a little bit. Because I like to see you guys. I like to talk to you guys when we're doing the show. So, anyway, alright. So, that's a little bit better. The focus is there. Alright, so as I was saying, so the label column right here, you're seeing the label column right here. All of the labels have to be something different. You have to label your devices differently so that when you get into the setups and the programming, it can distinguish between each of the things. So if you go into your Atem, and when you first connect a device, you'll get your setup mode. However, once you have it there and you've already connected it, you've already got it, you'll notice that over here you'll have your edit button. If it's active, or even if you enable it and it's not active but you've enabled it, you can edit the setups. Now every connection, every device has its own parameters, own setup of what's required for you to connect to that device. 99% of the stuff that you will connect to will be via some kind of IP address, whether that would be an HTTP address, URL on the web for web connectors, webhooks, and things like that, or local network. Some devices will work over the internet, which makes the Stream Deck running through Companion a very powerful device, because you can then connect to multiple equipments via that hardware that's sitting on your desk, and you're connecting to someone else's studio way down the road. And that's what makes running this stuff so much easier. And in the world where we live now, where you have, people are still coming out of the pandemic, people are loving working from home. This makes it possible for you to just expound upon the fact that, yes, you can now work from home and still do production work. And this is one of the ways that you can do that. If you've opened up your equipment to the internet, and hopefully you've done that through a secure server, through making sure that everything is secure networked wise, but some equipment can be shared over the internet, and you can connect via your target IP addresses. But most of the equipment, everything that I'm using, is on the local network, and that's how I connect via the local network. Nothing that I have. But for the Blackmagic, you'll want to connect to the target IP for that. So the A10 Mini Pro, you need to find out what IP is the device that you're connecting. Now, if you're working with a remote setup and you're relying on someone else's DHCP server, in order to use your companion, you'll need to come in and set it up prior to running the system. You'll need to go in and make sure that everything gets a specific IP, and then you update your software on companion to make sure that all of that stuff works. Because if you don't, then you're going to be subjected. It won't connect. And something that won't connect like this, when I enable this, you'll see it's sitting there disabled, the disabled thing, but it's not actually connecting. There's no connection right here, unlike the H2R graphics that is connected. So, and everything has different parameters, like I said. The model, so on the ATEM, because Blackmagic has made so many different ATEM switchers, the guys over at Companion, BitFocus, and the community, they have gotten the parameters for all of the different switchers. And it's very important that you come over here to the model and you pick the model of your ATEM. Are you running a Mini Pro? Are you running a Mini Pro ISO? And the reason being is, you want to make sure that you've got the right settings when you go into the button settings and you set up your cues. You want to be able to use the functions. Now, as you can see right here, it says Blackmagic A10 Mini Pro right here. This, you do have the option of coming here to auto detect, but there have been some complaints that the auto detect does not detect it correctly, especially when you are switching IPs and you're going into different setups. That sometimes will be it will corrupt this information, and it will corrupt your companion. So I always recommend, if you know the exact model, to go ahead and just pick it, because that way it's already got the presets, it's already got all the settings and all that stuff, and you don't have to worry about any more of that. So that's one of the things. VLC, I'm not going to show you guys VLC because there is a password on there. But let me see. I'm going to cut away from this real quick. I'm going to see if I can do something for you guys so you can actually see what I'm talking about. Because I want you guys to see what the power of this equipment is. And the reason I like VLC is because VLC player you can run on okay. Alright, let's go back to it and I'll show you what I did. So I changed. Alright. So there you see. You see how it says, I actually can't read it. What does it say? Bad, unauthorized, bad password. So if you go into the thing, you'll see that VLC through the webhooks of VLC Player. And you have to go into VLC Player and enable this to be able to use this on the Stream Deck. But it allows you to connect to the Stream Deck and you can do simple functions like play, pause, advance, back, but you also can do cues. So say you have a whole playlist of videos that you want to play. You can set up through this number right here how many display buttons, how many play items you want companion to recognize. And what it does is it allows you to have a list of, right now I've got 10, but you can go up to 100, have 100 different items in the button and lay them out in your Stream Deck, and then you just hit a button and companion loads it and starts playing. And I'm going to show you another way that you can hit the button, it'll play the cue, and then it'll take that device. And if we have it specifically timed out, we can also cut back once that break is over. And it makes it great as a video playback device so that you can do that. So let me come back here. So that's video play VLC. H2R graphics, I'm going to disable that since we're not using it right now. VLC player, H2R graphics. H2R graphics is one of those items that you, if you never used H2R graphics is the way that we are using the chat overlays. So it helps with that. They also do the countdown that we started in the beginning of the show. Let me see what else we have. I got this fun one. That's floating bubbles, which if you do it in the front, it just blocks your entire screen. I've got, of course, JAmemories.com. Check out JAmemories.com. That's where you can find my content as well as some other stuff. What else we got here? You know what? Let's do this. Come back here. And we've also got countdown, 10-minute countdown. And you turn it off. And hey, look, it's back to a 10-minute countdown. Turn it off again, and you come back to a 10-minute countdown. So that's just fun stuff. And then, of course, the overlays. This is also where I've dropped the overlays and the A10 Mini Pros, the ISO model, Extreme model, and the Extreme ISO. I've got two on now. And then, of course, the SDI. Now, as you can see, it's not keyed out perfectly for this because I was not intending to so, and then, of course, this countdown is the one I used for the beginning of the show. So, and no, Jeff, that is not the countdown to the end of the show. You know well enough to know that I can go forever on the countdown. So, Yeah, that's not the countdown to the end of the show. Alpha is showing. Yes, alpha is showing. I've been playing with the if you look at the layout of the software, which I will show you here. So this is the Atem Mini software, the Atem software. And I've got, so I'm using upstream key 4 for the H2R graphics. And that is set to chroma. I've got the preview set so that I can, and it's all green, but you tweak the chroma, you adjust the alpha and the background, the foreground, and some graphics look better than the others. So, you have to adjust the levels as you go, and that's just the nature of the beast when you're dealing with external devices. It works better if you can do alpha and key instead of chroma, which you can do a Luma key, which uses 2 sources, but I don't have 2 sources right now pushing out to the Atem, so I can't I can't do a Luma key. A Luma key would make it easier for that key to be better and more smooth, but at the moment it's not possible. So that's just one of the things about that. The way that we're using the H2R graphics. But I have to admit, H2R graphics, you can pick up H2R graphics from Here to Record. John Barker has created Here to Record. He's done several different versions. I think we're up to version 2 or 3, 2.4. I'm not sure what version I'm running, but what version am I running? I'm running 2.10. So yes. So he started out with version 1, and he's built this all by himself. He's done the coding. He's helped, and he does a lot of great tools. So check out John Barker's Here to Record, and if you need graphics, it's a great little tool that you can use for that. So okay, so we're going back to Companion, and so and that's the parameters you need: the IP address, the port number, and then you need the queue list that you're using. You need to know what list your project is. And in the free version, you can do one list. So you just do one list and you're done. On my version, since I actually paid to support John Barker, I have the paid version, and it is I can do multiple lists, which makes it very good because of you can do multiple lists for different shows. So if you're like me, and you have multiple records, multiple files, and multiple shows, you can create different lists with different graphics for that show. Hold on one second, Jeff. I'm getting that. So the website is heretorecord.com, and I will drop it in the chat for you guys. That is his main website. And then you can, you can get the graphic tools. He's got tools. He's got an XML generator. That's for those who want to create your own streaming device. So when you're using a Atem Mini or a a web presenter or some other encoding device, you can create your own streaming keys, XML files that will, and it's a lot of code. So he's created a generator for that. Under the apps is where you'll find H2R graphics. He's also got H2R stingers, and that's so you can do different transitions. H2R layouts are for the super source, and then of course H2R gear is a little tool to help you map out your layouts and wire diagram your stuff, and it's web-based only. I use a different program for that, which we will discuss at a later time, but that's one that he's done. And he's got his own YouTube channel. He's got some great content, and I like watching his stuff because he does a lot. So, now that we've talked about that, we've talked about the Atems, we've talked about VLC player, we've talked about here to record. Those are the connections. Now, one thing to remember about your connections can be whatever you want. And if you look at the list over here on the right, you can see all of the different manufacturers, models of software and hardware that you can control. Some stuff is web-based, some stuff is hardware-based. And the Bit Focus companion community has created these products and codes to make your life that much easier. Now, the Elgato Stream Deck, they can run some of this stuff. So you can use the native Stream Deck software with some of these, but some of these things you cannot. The connections are not there. The programs are not there. So I like to use the BitFocus Companion simply because you get a lot more functionality. I'm only up to the G's here. I mean, H's. I apologize. I cannot read. My screen is very small, so I can't read the actual. Hold on, let me see if I can do this. Hey, look, I can actually read it now. All right, high-end system Hog 4. I just happened to find this. So here's the here to record H2R graphics in the list. The high-end systems Hog 4. What is that? So what that is high-end systems Hog 4. That's a lighting console. So you can control lighting consoles. Let's see, LED Clockton. Not sure what that is. Kramer VP. Kramer is a matrix hardware manufacturer. They make a lot of TVs, a lot of different connectors and converters and things. So they have a couple little things like that. Let me do this. Let me There you go. Maybe you can read it better that way. I see. It says you can't read it. Hopefully you can read it now. I've made it full screen. Okay, LG displays. You know, and they've got connectors for that. And over here on the side, you can see what I clicked on the wrong one. LG TV. Before anything, you need network IP controller. All settings menu on TV. Using the remote arrows, navigate the connectors. You know, and stuff like that. Generic key codes. Wake up on land. So I mean, simple stuff like that. Oh, well, hold on. I saw that on the bottom. So over here you have available commands: power on, power off, set input, send key, set volume, mute. So if you're using, you can use this for, so that goes. Sorry you're having such a low bandwidth issue, Jeff. Maybe on the replay it'll be better. And then you have Lumis PTZ camera. That is a PTZ camera. You can control the left and right, up and down, and MA lighting 2, the Grand M2. That's another lighting console. Let's see what else we have up here. New Tech TriCaster. And then the New Tech SDI Studio Monitor. Those are top in the notch switchers. TriCaster is just like the Atem Mini, but it has a lot more features. It's basically a control room in a box. It's also a lot more expensive, but you can control those things with it. Open weather, current weather. That is one thing I have not. That reminds me of that is a web-based program. So, and you're using a lot more. You can do graphic over open weather graphic, weather overlays. You can get, so the variables, I'll show you the variables in a minute, but you can take the variables and, and basically make a button so that you can know what the weather is. It works great for people who need the weather. Panasonic, another great company. They've got a bunch of different devices here that can be controlled by the Stream Deck. Let's see if I recognize any. PTZ Optics, the Visca, which I actually have over here, the Visca PTZ Optics, and I was able to control the PTZ camera. Yeah, it makes sense, Jeff, that your resolution was set to auto at 480. Now you're doing a lot better. Renewed Vision Pro Presenter. And also Renewed Vision Pro Presenter, Pro Video Player. Though Pro Presenter is it's a media player for churches. A lot of churches use Pro Presenter for their announcements, graphics, words, and things like that. So yeah, it's one of those nice companies. And then Renewed Vision Pro Video Player is basically it's very similar, but it's mainly a video playout device, so you can play your videos. It's even got a Roku TV on here. What can we do on that? Key buttons: home, rewind, play, select. Basically, use it as a remote control. Change inputs. Up and down volume, power on and off. So it makes it so that if your TV is connected to the internet or local network, you can run it. I see an RGB Link Mini Plus, an RG Blink. I'm not sure what that is. Roland, another great company. All these companies, Sennheiser, Evolution Wireless, that is a microphone company. So you can change your frequencies, you can mute the AF on it, get information from it, and yeah, I mean, so all in all, basically what I'm saying is you can control so much from this little box, and all of that can run on the Stream Deck itself. The Stream Deck creates the module for the hands-on. Now I'm going to show you something that that is different, because one of the factors that you need to understand. Yes, I'm talking about the Stream Deck, the Elgato Stream Deck. I'm talking about how to use that with Companion. But here's the kicker, and this is the best part about Companion. If you want to get into Companion and you don't have the money for the Elgato Stream Deck, because they're not cheap. They're not expensive like a Switcher or anything like that, but they're not cheap either. They run anywhere from about $150 to about $300, a little under $300. So they're not cheap, but at the same time, you can use Companion without a Stream Deck, and let me show you how to do that. So we've got our settings. So over here is the buttons. This is where I've set up the shows. I've labeled everything. I've got everything in. I've got buttons for pre-show stuff. I've got OBS. This is similar to OBS or VLC player. I've got buttons to cue specific things and then take it to air. I've got buttons that tell me what time it is. So how do we use it without a Stream Deck? Well, Companion on the website, so I'm on the network. This is where my server is hosted. You have this little lovely thing that says emulator. You can open up the emulator and you now have the Companion Stream Deck right here. All your buttons are active. So this is my channel right here. If I hit this button right here, it's going to mute my mic. My mic is now live. You can hear me. So this really is live here on the website. You also can come over here, open up this web page, and you can open up this web page on a mobile device, and you have a mobile button page. And this is now your mobile page. And you can scroll up and down to get to your different pages. And you now have all of your thing. So if I open up this page right here, hit this, my music will start playing. Still playing in the background. So with all of that being said, you do not have to have, you also have the web page buttons, which fill up the web page completely. Mobile's a little bit smaller and a little bit more thin because obviously it's module for the mobile device. But now, the one caveat, I need to be stressed this, you cannot load emulator on multiple devices and have different pages up. So if we load the emulator, right, and I have this up on my page, on my device, and you pull up your computer, you're on the same network, you log into Companion, and then you're sitting up there and you want to run the emulator, and you open up the emulator page, you're going to get this same page. Okay, I'm looking at the wrong camera. I apologize. So the fact that you have this page up as well, and then you change your page, you come down here and hit down page, you're changing my emulator as well. So keep that in mind. You cannot have the emulator up on different pages. They are the same. Now, on the web page, it always starts on page 1, and you can scroll down to whatever page you want. You've got 99 pages to do and go. Now, what's the downport? On one computer, you can only run one thing: emulator, web page, or mobile device. On mobile, you're free to go whatever page you want. So if you want to have 2 computers running 2 web pages, and you've got the mobile device running a 3rd page, you can have 3 devices, all without paying for the Stream Deck. Now, obviously, having the buttons free as a keyboard makes it so much easier, because the fact that now you're able to control what you're seeing, what you're doing, and you're no longer restricted by the buttons. So let me show you this. So let's see. Hold on, my phone is doing some funky stuff. All right. So you're now watching the live stuff. So I've got this button right here, the music button. My mic. Hear me? My mic is on. You can hear me. And the thing is, also, you notice I've got 2 different things on each Stream Deck. And I can go up and down. I can either show the same thing, or I can go to different pages. And they're all independent of each other. Now, the other thing to keep in mind about the Stream Deck is the fact that when you're building out the page, right, you have to keep in mind on Companion how many buttons you have, because there's 3 models of Stream Deck. You have the 6 button, which is the very, very small one, which I don't even know how they even sell that, because it's so small. You have the 15 button, which is the medium one. The small one that you saw on my desk is the 15, and that's the Stream Deck standard. And then you have the 32 button one, which is the XL. I have the XL and this regular Stream Deck, but you have to remember that you're in charge. Oh, I apologize. My camera is... You're seeing... Oh... My camera's not set right, because I flipped it around. Alright. I've got to send a bug notice to Filmic Pro because their app is glitchy when you're in selfie mode on the hardware. Alright, I got it back now. So you have to remember what device you're using, because if you build out here, you're not going to be able to see these buttons on the actual Stream Deck if you've got the 15 model. So you've got to remember what model you're using so that you build your pages. Like this one is built for the 15 button Extreme. You know, and just like this one, you got all this stuff here, but it's built for the 15 Extreme. Jeff says more buttons equals more options. That is true. And that's where we're gonna go here in just a minute. Not you. I'm not sure what you meant by not you. Is it the button or the user? Yeah, funny, Jeff. Yeah. I'm going to lean towards user error. I'm not exactly sure what you were talking about because I wasn't paying attention to chat at the moment. But yes, most likely it was user error. But, you know, whatever you were talking. No, it was me. It was me. I did not change the camera back to the front camera. And I don't believe... I need to see if Companion... Actually, let's do that. Let's see if we can find... let me see. No, I don't know who made Filmic Pro, but I don't see anything on there to control a Filmic Pro camera. So, so basically, Jeff, what I did was I used my phone. I have it on selfie mode so that I can see the camera and can focus and I can move the settings around. And when I show you guys the Stream Decks, I flip the camera to the back camera so that I can, you know, see what I'm doing and show you guys what's there. Yes, you're right, Jeff. Jeff has a good point. He says too many buttons can cause more problems if you don't have them programmed correctly. That is absolutely right. If you don't have your stuff programmed correctly, if you don't know where stuff is, then yes, you can get confused. That's one reason why we are going to get ready to do a new layout, and we're going to take this page, page 12, and we're going to build out on the 15 channel, no, the 32 channel, we're going to build out a new layout. So that's what we're going to do the rest of the show. So the first things first is these three buttons are very important because this button right here that is basically your home page. Home button. So if you want to go back to the main page, the very first page, that's the button you click. An up and down page, you want those buttons there. Simply, you can do them wherever you want. If you want to do them down here, you know, we could move the down over here, move up over here, and move the home button like right here or something, or right up there. So that way, that's all there. Now, the next row, what we're going to do is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a cut bus for the A10 Mini Pro. So what we come over here, we hit a regular button, and we're going to browse for a preset action. But before I do that, I'm going to come over to the preset so that, hold on, let me, I need to change one thing on my layout so I can see a little bit better. I want to see overlays. All right, now I can see everything while I'm doing my work. So I'm going to come over to the Atem. The nice thing about the bit focus companion thing is you have these, you can browse for the function you want. So here's all of the functions that you have turned on, that you have modules for. So we have the Atem, and this is where your labels come in. So you have your internal keys, so you can run your local functions and the local for the Stream Deck itself and companion yourself. OCS is, I'm not really sure what OCS, I've never gotten into OCS. So I can't really share what that is. But then you have your video hub. That's another router from the Blackmagic. We're not using that today. I actually don't even have that. That's something I set for, actually set that up for our office at thing. VLC player. And you've got functions of play, play ID, stop, play resume, seek to, next, previous, clear playlist, add item, add and play, delete ID, set volume, full screen, loop, shuffle, repeat. So you've got all those parameters that you can use in VLC. ISO is the short name for the A10 Mini Extreme ISO. And you've got all these functions. And this makes it very nice. You got everything from the audio, the video, multi-viewer source, input source, and every single one of these items has multiple settings that you can change to make it exactly what you want. And then H2R graphics, you've got all of the functions. And it gets a little confusing with H2R graphics, and we'll show you a button and how complicated it can be. But it's not that bad. John Barker's made the graphic work too. And of course, your Visca, which is the PTZ camera, you can do all of these functions. And that's just the ones that I use. You know, depending on what module you have up here, you'll get the settings for those devices. So, but I want to make things a little bit easier. I'm doing basic layouts. So what I want to do is I want to have the bottom row, I want that to be my preview bus. So I want to come over to preset. I'm using the Atem Extreme ISO. So I want to make sure that this is a preview bus. So I want to come up with preview, and all of a sudden I've got all of these buttons here. Now if you notice the labels here, that is the labels on my Atem. So Companion, because I'm on the same network, is sharing the information with me right now, so I can come over here. That's input 1, input 2, input 3, input 4, input 5, input 6, input 7. Now if you notice, blank 2, I don't have anything in input 8. But what I do want to know, I have this fun little one here, SSRC, which is known for SuperSource. I want that because I do take SuperSource. So, now, Now we get the fun thing. If you notice, it's already there. Now, why is this one green? The reason this one's green is because I have this feedback from the Atem telling my companion, hey, when this is in preview mode, when any one Sony camera, that's what SCAM stands for, I want to change the background to white. Now, I can even go as far as changing the words to black so it stands out, which I actually think is actually better because I can actually read it better. Now, I just did that in the last 2 minutes live on the air. And I'm going to switch my page on my camera, and I'm going to let you see what wow, did not mean to do that. All right. So, I want to change. I want to go preview. I want to be that. No, I need I'm going to cut back to this real quick. And I'll show you why in a second. And then I'm going to, I guess, switch. The problem is with the hardware issue with Filmic Pro, my camera glitches out if I switch cameras. So before I do that, now I want to make sure that I'm on that. All right. So there's the button. That's what I just created, and it's live action. It's live in motion, directly programmed right to the Stream Deck without any delay. So the Stream Deck software works in such a way that it allows you to make your changes on the fly, directly right into the module, so that you are able to, for live productions, live interactions, it allows you to do that. So now I'm back to that. Let's go back to Super Source. I can do that there. And then let's go back and finish our page, because it's great to have a preview bus, but if I can't cut to it, what's the point? So we're gonna add a few more buttons. So the button above it, the row above it, you know, because it's preview, I wanna do program. And we're going to do program. Same exact layout. And the reason I'm doing it in this order is because it's in order of what the inputs are on the switcher. So, and you can change the layout wherever you want. If you want, let's say you want H2R graphics next to your camera, because you know you're always gonna do it there. You can do that, but because I want to just have it flow correctly, we're gonna do that. Now, if you notice over here, Super Source is online. That's because that's what you're looking at right now. Now, if I come over to my emulator, right, and I go up to page 12, now if you notice I bumped back to page 1 because I have my home page at the top where my button is. So I'm not sure if that is a good thing or a bad thing. So, but for the moment, we're going to leave it the way it is. Page up and page down. So if I come over my emulator and I say, let's go to, because right now we're on SuperSource. If I take the Sony camera, I'm now over here. I can preview this, but I can't take it because I don't have a cut button. So we got to add a few more buttons. So let's go back over to SuperSource and look at what we're going to add. So, so now we need to come over to transitions. Oh my gosh, what the heck is all these transitions? Do not, above anything else, do not be intimidated by the number of transitions. You will learn over time what all of these things are. And as you work with them and as you do these things, you will learn what each of these are. So the two functions I want on my page are cut and auto. And so we're going to look for cut, which should be, I don't see cut on my preset. I want auto, but they don't have cut. Why don't they have cut? Alright, so we're going to do this. So I don't have a preset for cut. That's just really weird. Okay, well, so transition, yeah, they don't have a cut button. I guess we have to make our own. Which is great because I need to show you how to make your own anyway. So, we're now on this button. I hit regular button first. So, we're going to call this the cut button. And then we're going to come over here to the preset. And we're going to browse. We're in the ISO, Extreme ISO. And then we're going to just simply perform the cut function. Once we've added it, you see it pop up in the background. It's now there. You can change. There's not much change. Depending on what ATEM you have, you can, depending on what you want, you can change your MEs. But because we're on the extreme, there's only one ME. So you can do a delay, how long it takes to do that. But now that I've got it there, I come back to my emulator, I've got it up here, and voila, I cut. Wait, what happened? I cut to the wrong camera. I had a different camera up on. So this is where your preset bus comes in handy. And that's why you want to have a preview bus, so that you can do those things and do it. And now if I cut, it cuts correctly. And that's the power of Companion. You can set up your own functions. So what other things would you want to do? I would like to be able to turn microphones on and off, and at least know when they're on and when they're off. Now, I've already done the work, so we're going to come over to my other page where I have those things. Oh, which one is it? Right here. So these two buttons you will see is mic 1, source, toggle on and off, And then the feedback is if input 1 is on, change it to yellow. Have the background yellow. If mic 1 stereo is off, change it to brown. So I've already got these built. So I'm just going to copy this button, come over to page 12, and I'm going to put mic 1 right there. Now, if I come back over to my emulator, I hit this. My microphone's back on, and it's now on. Yes, Jeff, we want to make sure we click the right button. So, I want to go back to page 2. Apparently you can't use the keyboard for that, so you gotta go back in page 2. We're gonna copy mic 2, come back to page 12, and put it right there. And that's as simple as that. And now I've got my buttons there in a function that I can do, and I can simply. Now I do know I use another button, which is music, which comes off the VLC player, but that is on the playback device. So instead of copying the button I've already got, I'm going to have to build it. So I want to come into the ISO. We're going to go down to the Fairlight. We want to set Fairlight Audio. That's the name of the inputs for the audio. We're going to set input to mix option. We're going to add that to the button. So we're going to take our playback and we're going to do a toggle on and off. You want to name it. I can't spell today. That didn't work. Change my font so that it's there like that. And now I want to match my feedback to this. So I come down to feedback. I'm going to browse, back to ISO, back to Fairlight. Fairlight Audio. I know I need 2 because I need an on state and an off state. So I added it twice. Done. And now, so I come back up to here. I'm looking for playback status. I want on. I want the words black. And I want the color to be yellow. Okay. Then playback off. Set to for playback off. And you notice that, oh, you updated to green. But we don't want green, we want that brown color. So we're going to come over here to brown. And that's not quite the same color, but it's close enough. And the words are a little bit different, so we got to make it a little bit brighter so we can actually read the words on our layout. So the nice thing is my Stream Deck right here is being updated real time, and I'm seeing it real time. So, and that's just as simple. Now, I don't know if you noticed on the state, you've got a third option. So there's a third state you can put the mic in. So I'm gonna add one more. We're gonna add one more. We're gonna add the same function. If you notice, you've got the function right here. You can just click it and add the same function again, and we're gonna add playback. The state will be AFV. What does that stand for? For those that don't know, AFV in the audio world means audio follows video. So whenever this video feedback comes on, when this channel is active, that means the audio will follow and come on. That's great for gameplay. That's great for when you transition your videos and you want the audio to follow that, but you don't want the audio to be on when. So we're going to leave that one to green. So now, how can I add a button? Because this toggles on and off. I can hit that button and turn it to AFV, and once I hit the button, it's now in that state. The only problem is I can never get it off. So I turn it on, I turn it off. And there's the audio. Simple. I mean, it's not that complicated when you get into the functions. A couple other things. So one thing I want to do is I want to be able to change my multi-viewer that I have. I want to be able to just have one button that allows me to change my layout so that I can hit a button and see my full screen pictures. So I'm going to take these 5 buttons right here and pick 5 of my favorite layouts. So I'm going to start here. Again, preview, preset. Preset makes it so much easier to do stuff. And when they added this, so you have these 2 buttons here, aux 1 and aux 2 on the extreme. This is output 1 and output 2. So I want to change, the very first one is I want multi-viewer. All right. So we're going to add multi-viewer right there. So if I hit this button right here, I know you guys can't see it, but yet you can. So I'm going to change. No, you guys can't see it. But if I hit this button, it changes my layout to multi-view. So, and if you notice up here, it changed the state to yellow. So the next one I want on the aux 1 is I want to go to my overlays, because that's where I do all my computer screen. And I take that, now I'm on overlays. So now I've got the full page up and running. So next, I want to be able to look at my camera full screen without any problem. My primary camera is S-Cam, the Sony camera. My other camera is blank, because originally it wasn't there. That is the phone cam. So now I've got the option of changing Sony camera. That's the phone camera. The nice thing about it is you're seeing the changes on the emulator, but it's not adjusting what's being on program. So I can do this all in the background, see my stuff, see my changes, and then the last one, just because, let's see what else is up there. We've got preview. We've got all of the other ones. Clean feed, which is if I'm using a graphic. H2R graphics is another one. I can do any of the media players that I want, but there really is nothing else I want right now. So I'm not going to fill it up with anything. I don't want to see preview. There's no reason to see preview full screen because it's on my multi-viewer. So we're actually going to move all of those buttons down so that I can fill in the gap between my cut bus. So right now, I'm pretty satisfied with this layout. I've got Jeff, you're having a lot of fun with the click the right button functions. So now I've got my preview bus up here, and you can see me activating it. And if I go over to my emulator, you'll see me as I'm pushing buttons on here. You're seeing them click. If I click on the auto button, you'll see the it transitioned just straight to the overlay page. I used the audio button again. Now I'm back with you all. And of course, with the multi-viewer, I can click here. You're seeing it live, change the backgrounds, but on my multi-viewer, I am now seeing what I'm pushing so that but it's not affecting what's out on program. So, and that's just some of the buttons, some of the things that you can do with Companion. Now, say that you have built in a graphic that you want to key in. Now, this is where H2R graphics comes in. So I'm going to come over here, and I've already got a graphic from H2R graphics. I just need to find it. All right, so I've got this button. It's no, that's a graphic. Do I have an H2R graphic one? I don't know. I don't think I do. So I guess we gotta build one ourselves. Oh, well. Alright, so I want right here to be my super source for graphic. I want to be able to pull up a graphic without any hesitation and be able to just with one button put up a logo for my word. So what I do is we're going to come over here, H2R graphic. We're going to basic nope. No. H2R graphic. Show hide. Hey, look. I hit show hide, and it has all of my graphics that are on my list. So I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to click that. Now, if I come over here to this, it'll show you what I've got. So, I want to, here's the name of the graphic, and you're using the variable. And this is where variables come in. Very, very, very powerful thing. So you come over here to graphics. This will show you all the states, the graphic, and then over here you have a description, and then you have all of your lovely little functions. So come back over to the button. You've got your variable for the name. You can change that name and type this, but I think it looks really nice having the name an icon message, and it shows you what it is. And then it's a default setting. The background's there. And then, of course, you show, and then unlatch, And it's a latch unlatch function. So you show it and then you hide it. Now, on air is red, off air, going off air, turns it red. So what does that mean? Why do you have three different things? Coming on air is when I hit the button, it's showing you that it's on there. Now it's on air. And it's red. I hit off, it changes and goes offline. Because H2R Graphics is doing those functions, it's transitioning, it's moving, it makes things animated. So now I've got a button on my keypad that can show you all, hey, that's my website. Go check it out. Look at it. Have fun with it. And enjoy yourselves at the website. And so, yeah. So now, and there's always this fun thing. We've got 3 more buttons down here. What can we do? What can we add to make this even better? Well, obviously, we've got our social. We've got our big timer. And then what else? And this one, I honestly don't know. Anything else we need in Atem? Anything else Oh, you know what? Social is no good. Let's move this one over here. Hey, look, I just wiped out my button. Yep. I wiped it out. And unfortunately, there is no way of getting it back. You gotta redo it. You gotta put it back. You can't undo in this software. So be careful of what you're doing. But I want to set up buttons for the Atem to stream. Now, I am streaming on the Mini Pro. Now, I'm recording. At least I think I'm recording. Let's go back to multi-viewer. And am I recording? Am I still recording? No, I am not recording. And this is what's driving me crazy about the Atem Extreme ISO. The recording is not staying online. So that's why it's showing. But it is what it is. So I'm going to come back here. But I'm not streaming. Why is it saying I'm not streaming? Simply fact, because I'm not streaming on this. So I'm streaming off the other one. So I'm going to erase this button. You want to make sure you're clearing the right one. And I'm going to come back up to the Atem. And there you go. I'm now streaming on the Extreme. Yes, Jeff, I am streaming because I am live. But I wasn't streaming from the Atem Extreme ISO. I am streaming from the Atem Mini Pro. That's why the stream is green on the Atem Mini Pro. And that's the beauty of it. You can have buttons for different Atems. You can mix and match. You can have different sources. You can have do all those things. Do not tempt me, Jeff, with more buttons. Don't tempt me with more streamers. I would love to have a studio where I have 4 ME Constellation sitting there, and I just use the Extremes and the Pro Minis as streamers, and I'm cutting with 50 inputs, 40 inputs, 24 outputs. I could go crazy with this stuff. So, of course, we got JAmemories there. Let's see what we got for. Now, of course, I just used the cut bus to cut back to you guys. I don't like doing it that way, simply because, hey, you know what? It's not good. So that's basically how you build a page on Extreme, on the on the Stream Deck. Now, obviously, remember, you always need to remember that you are limited by the footprint of your page. If you're using the emulator, use all 32 buttons. If you're if you've got the 15, then just remember to make sure everything's clumped in that top corner. Now, it can be very complicated. So I actually have done something where I want to be able to keep track of stuff. I want to be able to map out stuff temporarily. I want to be able to, configure pages, and not just, I'm sitting there in front of my computer all the time figuring these things out. Because like I said, you had 99 pages. It'd take you forever to do that. So what I did is I took an Excel page, and I made a worksheet. And it is an Elgato Stream Deck Planner. Okay? So you use this template to adjust the layout of your Stream Deck. And you've got all the 32 buttons. I've already laid in the buttons for the arrows. And then you just enter what page number it is. And then on one sheet of paper, I think you have 3 pages. 3 pages of layouts. And then in the bottom, which you can't see, unfortunately, on this page, this is the worksheet. Now, the worksheet, you have the web host and the IP of the server that you're running. So you're able to write down all of your cheat sheets. And I've got one here that I filled out of the worksheet. And it's and basically all the settings are right there so that you can see. And up here you've got the information about what thing and what stuff you've got up there. But you enter this information, and what it does is it allows you to keep track of your information. So you've got the what surfaces you're using. If you're using Stream Deck XL, the 32 button one, or if you're using the 15 button one, and then down here, and you can always expand these and add more pages. So the IP of the server that you're running. Now, one thing I didn't say that I mentioned last week, but I want to mention again this week. When you're using the Stream Deck on a companion software, and this is the same thing with if you're using the Stream Deck software from Elgato. Excuse me. if you're using the Elgato Stream Deck software or companion, you've got to have the Stream Decks plugged into that same computer. You can't run those through the network. You can't connect them via a network hub. So you have to make sure that so make sure that you're plugged into the same computer. Now you can plug in as many Stream Decks as you want, and you can run as many versions of Companion as you want on different computers. So if you've got a computer running Companion doing all graphics, or if you're doing switching on another Companion computer, and have Stream Decks that way. However you want to do it, that's fine. But everything needs to talk on the same network. So that way you can do those things. So, going back to the worksheet, I have no idea why my interesting. I need to check that. Anyway, so the modules. So what are the modules? The modules are Atem minis. Lovely, my computer blinked. You've also got the you got the label that you're going to use, just like we saw in the overlays. On the graphic. I can get over there, the connections. The labels, you've got the labels there. Then you've got your IP address for that module. Then you got information 1, 2, and 3. Most of the settings have 3 different parameters that you're using. So I've left room in the module for that 3 specific informations. Now, obviously, if you have something that needs a 4th one, you can add it there. But and because I like everything printed, that's why it's there in that way, so that the page is filled and you've got your worksheet. You can share this with your developers. You can share this with your team so that everybody's on the same page as to what they're doing, the layouts that's there, and you can see and have a visual of what you're doing. And when you walk into a show, you know, okay, page 1 is for my cut bus, page 2 is for my graphics, page 3 is for my audio interfaces, and all of that stuff, so that you can have everything at your fingertips without having to worry about, hey, I don't have to cycle through every page to try to find the module that I want. And this comes also into if you need to test things out and stuff like that. So these worksheets are for if you guys want the worksheets, I can upload them to they're on Dropbox. I can give links to the Dropbox links for that. So if you guys want to do that, you can I can get you those graphic pages and things like that so that you're able to do that. But I've been talking for almost 2 hours. It's been a long stream. But it's been a good stream. I've enjoyed myself. I've had a great time. And one of the things that I enjoy the most is having conversations with people. So feel free to hang out with us and chat with us, and we will. Let's see what else. What did Jeff say? Sounds like you need a few more Atems. No. And of course he says, yes, you've been talking a long time. Are you saying I should stop talking? Anyway, it's been a great time. Thank you for hanging out with us. If you want those worksheets, let me know. I'll drop them in the description below. Links to grab those worksheets, and yeah, you can use them for yours. Share them on the. It's basically just an Excel sheet with just the information that you would need for the for your stuff, and yeah. But thanks for hanging out with us. We are looking at a new setup next week. Not really sure what we're going to talk about. So if you've got a topic you would want to talk about, let me know. If something comes up, I might actually share with you some of the things I've been doing at the office, because we've been doing a lot of fun stuff. And next week, next Thursday, I should be able to get live. On Saturday, it's going to be a little fun if I'm going to do the normal show. If you don't know, we do a show on Thursday nights here on YouTube, Tech Talk, the show you're watching right now. Catch me each Thursday night. And then on Saturday nights, 8 p.m., we go live on YouTube and Facebook with Biblical Reflections. So you can always find me on JAmemories on Facebook. Share the links with your friends. Share the information. Join the Facebook group. It's a public group. You can join the page there. And we've got some fun stuff laid out in the future. I'm hoping to expand and do some more things. And hopefully God will open the doors for that. So hang out with us. Enjoy your time. Have a blessed evening. Enjoy your weekend. And we will see you next week with Tech Talk. God bless you all.